Welcome back to the Global News Relay Solutions Journalism. I'm Ed Marchila.
And I'm Courtney Rogers.
We have 5 universities in the U.S. participating in the Global News Relay. Marquette is a newcomer.
It's fitting that they're participating this year, though, because for the entire month of March, their campus has focused on activism.
Let's send it over to Marquette University in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I'm Juliana Falk, and I'm a student at Marquette University in the Journalism Bootcamp class. Here's a look at what our students have been doing.
Marquette students hit the road for spring break recently, traveling to New York and New Orleans as part of the Marquette Mardi Gras group, helping repair cities after Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Sandy.
Mardi Gras is a service trip that Marquette has been doing since 2006 after Hurricane Katrina. Ever since Hurricane Katrina hit, groups of students from Marquette have been going down to New Orleans to help with disaster relief and rebuilding the community. We're a disaster relief organization.
Mardi Gras stands for Making a Real Difference in the Gulf region and surrounding. We focus on disaster relief, and 4 times a year we go down to New Orleans to help out with Hurricane Katrina. And once a year in the spring we go to New York to focus on Hurricane Sandy relief.
So my site, we were building a house, so we were working on the siding, cutting wood, and putting it on the side of the house. So that's kind of what we were doing for the whole week. We would wake up really early, 7 a.m., get some breakfast, and then just go to the site and work, have a lunch break, and then come back early afternoon, work some more. And after that, we would have some community time with some of the people we've helped in the past. We'd go to their homes and just hang out and talk with them. So that was kind of like the rundown of the day.
Basically what we did, went and stayed in a church basement for a week, explored the city for about 2 days, and then the rest of the week we went to 2 different house locations and worked on their basements, drywalling, mudding, sanding, and we did some sealing of a basement concrete foundation. And then last day we did some demolition, which was the best day. Knocked out some drywall and fixed a sink.
Favorite memory, I think visiting the different homeowners, but specifically we went to this grocery store, pop-up grocery store called Brunel's Grocery Store, and the guy at Brunel, he actually created this store after Katrina, and it was like the only grocery store with produce within like a mile radius in that small town. So that was really cool. He was a really chill guy, and he gave us free stuff, and it was a great experience just to meet him and have him tell us all the stories about his stories about Katrina and kind of how he came back from that and made the grocery store.
I have such a passion about helping others. I never have done anything disaster relief oriented, and this is just incredible because I've been going down 3 to 4 times a year, every year since freshman year, and we go see the same homeowners and we get to see the same people who we've been visiting since 2006 when Hurricane Katrina happened. And I've formed a lot of really good relationships with the people down there in the city of New Orleans.
The love that the organization brings is absolutely incredible.
Our next story is about how Marquette students are able to use their meal plan and unused meal swipes to help those in need throughout the Milwaukee area.
Dining hall, you know that they're getting a balanced meal, a good meal, which they may not be able to get with cash if they go to a fast food restaurant or something like that.
I feel like, especially with Marquette being a Jesuit university, and that service and giving back to the community is such a big part of Marquette that, but yeah, I don't see why they shouldn't be able
to give them a meal, and that would help them to be sustained with food instead of their habits.
sometimes I'll go a week, and it's like I spend 3 meal swipes or guest swipes, and then I won't spend a couple or any for a couple months.
So far I haven't used any of them.
I feel like, yes, that could be a big factor into saying no to letting students guest swipe the less fortunate, but ultimately I feel like the positives outweigh the negative, because a lot of people in need are just looking for a meal or just a little help.
I wouldn't feel uncomfortable. I'd probably want to do it too.
I don't know how I feel about people swiping in a homeless person, but like I'd be fine if you like bring food out to them or something.
Inviting the homeless into your dining halls, some people become uncomfortable around the homeless, whether it's appearance or personal hygiene or whatever the case may be. It is a bit of a test of the Jesuit message of service.
Because most of the time when they get money, they tell you that they homeless and they hungry. But most of the time, they want money to buy drugs.
You hand out cash, some of the homeless are not going to spend it on food or for anything good. And once you hand over cash, you really have no control over what somebody is going to do with it.
This next story is about Midnight Run at Marquette University. This organization really focuses on helping combat hunger and poverty throughout Milwaukee.
Starting over 25 years ago. It's a fellowship and food.
I just love the atmosphere, and I love how it's like a busy beehive of activity.
And it's a good place to be here. The best of the best.
You'll see so many smiling faces coming in here, and people who just, need a break from the cold, need a meal.
I just think the special thing about bands is that the same people come all the time, and then you kind of get to know them and like what's important to them, and you also get to know a lot of their struggles. So there's been like certain moments where I've just like kept with someone's something that they've had going on in their life, and it's like so wonderful when they get something figured out, like they find housing or they find like a school or something that they need, and I love like celebrating those moments with them.
There's Leroy, who's a photographer, Clyde, who's in a wheelchair and does dialysis, who I talk to all the time, Mr. Willie, also in like a scooter, Angel, who drives an Uber, her car's an Uber car, she comes here. There's the Sakasa family, there's just lots of different groups.
What's important to me about like Midnight Run's mission and St. Ben's specifically is that these people live like 5-10 minutes away from us, like a walk away from us, and I think it's just important that like even though we may have been like dealt different cards, that we just kind of like give everyone the same treatment and respect, and like listening to their stories and showing them the same dignity that I would want someone to show to me. And
just the empathy, just the community building, and learning to see people as people.
I think the camaraderie. I'm a disabled vet, you know, and I live alone by myself in an apartment. It gives me a chance to kind of interact with people too as well.
I'm single and I live by myself, and I don't like eating home alone. And I'm trying to find me a husband.
You were married 15 minutes ago. I'm available.
I'm gonna marry that guy right there if he asks me. Today was free glasses day, so I got me 2 pair of glasses, and I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart because I truly needed them. Segment's important to me because there are a lot of single citizens that aren't able to cook, and this is a meal program I know where they can come and get a hot meal.
Oh, Marquette students are great. They are always very open to whatever we need them to do. And one of the best things they do for us is, since we usually have other volunteers, they sit and eat with the guests and they talk with the guests. They create relationship, build community with our guests, which is the most important thing that we do here.
The biggest step that we can make is just getting as many people involved as we can, because there's only so much that one person can do, and it's great to have a small group of people that you can feel close with to come out and volunteer with. But I think the big step is to just recruit as many people as you can and get as many people involved and doing whatever they're able to do, because once you get a large amount of people involved, you don't have to do that much to make a huge difference. So I think that's the big, and that's a tough step, but that's the big step, I think.
Students discuss a very popular debate on Marquette's campus of co-ed floors.
Hi, I'm Grace Knatzer,
Hey, I'm Justin Palmer.
and we're students at Marquette University, a Catholic Jesuit institution in Milwaukee. We've been investigating how co-ed flooring may impact college campuses. Specifically at Marquette, a proposal to create co-ed floors at Mashuda Hall, a freshman and sophomore dorm, has recently surfaced.
Over 90% of colleges today have co-ed dorms, and many of these have co-ed floors. But at Marquette, only 2 co-ed floors exist in the 9 dorms we have here. Those floors can be found in the Dorothy Day Social Justice and the Spanish Language Living Learning communities in Strauss Tower. While Marquette has had co-ed floors in the past, these rare occurrences didn't last.
We asked Tracy Girth, the associate director of these communities, about her experience on co-ed floors.
Every community is dependent on the individuals who are on the floor. I think it allows students who are looking for a different experience to be a part of that. So in the co-ed floors that we currently have, because they're living learning communities, there's times where the floor gets together for discussion or experiences, and I think no matter what, the more diversity you have in those discussions, or the more kind of life experiences that individuals bring, the better your conversations, the better your experiences. And so I think the co-eding of the floors in those specific communities allow for different types of exchanges, a wider variety of people to participate and engage.
So what do Marquette students think of the idea of co-ed floors? We found some opinions on the issue from Neil Milford and Hannah Maceo, 2 freshmen who live in McCormick and Cobean halls. While McCormick is a co-ed dorm, Cobean is the only same-sex dorm on campus.
I think people are close enough as it is, and I don't really think it would make a difference.
I personally wouldn't have a preference. I like living like this, with same gender on each floor. But I did go and visit my friend, and she lives on another campus. She lives on a co-ed floor, and it was okay too. There weren't any issues, and she's never experienced anything or heard of any serious issues.
However, what might concern both students and parents alike when choosing housing options for college is the possibility for a rise in sexual assaults, STDs, and alcohol abuse in co-ed dorms. Some believe this would be even more likely on a co-ed floor where men and women live right next to each other. Others believe that behavioral conduct is even better with some co-ed floors.
I think the STD rate will go up a lot, because I feel like the only thing holding a guy back from going upstairs or downstairs on a girl's floor to do that kind of thing is just because they don't want to walk up the stairs or get out of their room and go to the elevator. So, I mean, they're right next door to you.
We have a couple of co-ed floors, and those are actually lower conduct and issues that we have in those communities currently. So that hasn't been our experience here, so I have no reason to believe that that would lead to higher numbers of sexual assault or issues surrounding alcohol.
It's currently unknown whether Mashuda will end up having co-ed floors in the future, but it seems the push to make the change is stronger than ever.
I'm certainly an advocate for it in the right circumstances and in the right environment. I think, like I talked about before, it's about providing a variety of living experiences so that people can select what best meets their needs. This is certainly not, we're not the first Jesuit school to have co-ed housing. Other Jesuit schools have it, so we feel like it's certainly not outside of who we are as an institution. Will we ever, I don't know that we'll never have a point where all of campus is co-eded, but I've worked at several state schools and that's the case there as well. It's about providing a balance of living opportunities and environments so that students can be in the right environment for them.
Hello, my name is Dana Potts.
And I'm Nicholas Molina, and we are students at Marquette University.
We are excited to be joining you for the Global News Relay.
We have a few interesting stories to discuss today.
Marquette University recently set an initiative to increase its Latino population. Rebecca, Dan, and Christina reported on the initiative on campus's reactions.
Marquette University set an ambitious goal to up their Hispanic enrollment to 25% in the next 8 to 10 years. Here's their plan.
The Hispanic Serving Institution was announced last spring. It is an initiative by Provost Myers. And my first reaction was that it was a wonderful idea because, for one, the Hispanic enrollment has been increasing drastically. In the last 10 years, Hispanic enrollment went up from 4.3% to 9%. So we're currently at 10.6%. So I think that the initiative is a really good initiative strategically, but also it speaks to the Catholic Jesuit mission of who we are at Marquette University and how we can best serve Hispanic students. I do believe it's attainable. However, there needs to be a lot of different components to the strategy on becoming an HSI. For one, we need to really think of community engagement. How do we engage the Milwaukee area community, Chicago area community, and also the community at large? Secondly, the way we recruit Latinx students, and then how we retain and graduate those populations as well. So I think it's not just the recruitment and enrollment, it's also how successful those students are on this campus as far as being retained and also graduating.
One of the things that I could think of was lowering the price of tuition. Some people do have, it's a stigma sort of, but some Hispanic families do struggle with money. So lowering the cost of admission and tuition would increasingly help with that. Also offering classes that people would more willingly take, that cater to their wants and needs and what they want to do for the future. So any little changes they can do to up the Hispanic community on campus, whatever they can figure out would work out perfectly, honestly. You want all kinds of people coming to your school. It gives you a different kind of classification that you do accept more and all kinds of different people. So doing as much as you can to accept Hispanics, Latinos, or African Americans or Asians from all over the country, it works because people will see that your school is actually trying to do something better.
And now we have a story about a group of women and the struggle to succeed in a mostly male-dominated fields. Christine, Lydia, Thomas, and David have the scoop.
Rebecca Strite. I am a co-op junior, so I'm in my second junior year at Marquette in our co-op program. I major in biomedical engineering, and I am the fundraiser / social coordinator with Society of Women Engineers. So I help coordinate all of our fundraising events, fun events we do with other engineering organizations, and all of that kind of stuff. Like I mentioned, I'm part of the co-op program, so I spent a year doing an internship down in North Carolina, and that was very interesting because, especially being at Marquette in the biomed engineering program, it's kind of a skewed world where it's a lot more even as far as ratios of men to women in the work or in the classroom here in that program. But down actually working for my company, Halyard Health, and doing all that, I got to see kind of more of being more of a minority in the workplace.
I'm a junior in the College of Business at Marquette University. I am majoring in international business and operations and supply chain management. I decided to be a business major because I love money. I think it applies to everyday life because literally our entire world is run by business, so it's definitely something interesting. My dream job is to work for Bentley as an operations manager, so basically run their supply chain. Mm-hmm. Personally for me, the job experiences I've had, I haven't really felt I haven't felt inferior to the guys I work with, but I think it has a lot to do with your corporate culture. As long as your company abides by that, you should be fine. But I know that it is an issue for a lot of people. However, women haven't really been in the work industry for that long. It's only been about 30 years. So we can still make a lot of improvement, and I think that is coming now, but it's a slow and steady progress.
Stands for Women and Youth Supporting Each Other. So what it is just a group of college-aged women going to an underprivileged middle schools in the city of Milwaukee, and we partner up with a group of middle school girls, 5th grade to 8th grade, and it's like a mentorship program, so we just create bonds with the girls and help them kind of realize their potential and answer any questions they have about just like growing up and things that they can do in the future. And yeah, it's we meet with them once a week and yeah, just do a bunch of stuff with them. So at a lot of our sessions, we encourage them to enter into STEM fields that they might be scared to enter into normally. So if they're really passionate about like science or mathematics, normally male-predominated fields, we just encourage them. And also we have future options, which is when all the girls actually, they come to Marquette and we have lots of speakers talk to them, and a lot of times those speakers are from women in engineering. There's all those clubs on campus, so like women in physics, women in engineering. We have like an ROTC woman come talk to them, and so we just let them know of all their different options that they can pursue and let them know that they definitely can do whatever they want to do, even if it is a male-predominantly field.
Thanks for joining us for this portion of Global News Relay.
Goodbye.
Wow, what an interesting story from Marquette.
Yep, another good segment put together by our schools. Well, coming up on the Global News Relay, volunteer coaches at CrossFit dedicating their time to helping special needs athletes work out just like everyone else.
Plus, how students at Baylor University are promoting self-worth and self-love after battling body image issues of their own.
And how a free speech area at Texas State University is allowing students to speak out about important issues in their community.